Hello friends, my name is James Hawkins, and as always I'm joined by my good friends Brian Castiglione and Anthony Alessino, as well as my younger brother, Jack Hawkins. On this show we're all about parlays, overs, unders, spreads, and money lines. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Parlay-Vous. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Parlay-Vous podcast. We got Jack Hawkins, no Brian tonight. We do, via the Zoom, have the newlywed Mr. Anthony Alessino showing off the ring on the Zoom. You're going to have to show it off next week when you're in studio for the camera.
Oh, hell yeah.
So first and foremost, congratulations, obviously. Even though I was a fucking groomsman and I was there.
Even though you were definitely part of it. But
the number one question on all the fans' minds, everyone's been DMing me, everyone wants to know, how was Aruba?
Oh, the best thing that you can imagine. Imagine a tropical island with no rain, nobody cares, and nothing costs money. That sounds pretty good.
Sounds pretty amazing, man.
Also unlimited food and drinks at the resort. So got a little tan.
Not much.
But we're back.
You got a little tan. Very little.
I was out there all day too, so I was out here.
You gotta dial down the SPF 100, dude.
No, the first day we did 15 with the first day, and then I was like, "Whoa, this sun's kind of fucking getting after it. Let's go to 50."
Jesus Christ, dude.
I don't think I've worn 50 since I was a child.
You went from 15 to 30. I don't know what fucking
mango
scale.
scented SPF 50, dude.
What did you just say? What? Mango?
Mango scented and infused.
That's an aphrodisiac.
What?
Mango's an aphrodisiac.
Is it?
Yeah. They're actually making now, shout out Stavi. Stavros Hakis, he fucking endorses like a Blue Chew variant, like a different company. It's called Mango RX. They're dick pills, and the active ingredient is like mango. Yeah.
I just felt tropical, dude. I'm just laying there feeling tropical and shit.
Feeling sexy.
Yeah, I didn't see much football, but I did keep up with it. I am ready to talk about it.
That's okay. We're going to talk football and maybe a little round ball at the end. Definitely a little round ball at the end. I got some things to say, but that'll be later. Here's how we're going to start. This would be a question for both of you, but we only got one of you representing Big Blue today. So here's the question, the prompt that we're going to start the episode with. Giants are off to an absolute miserable start.
Halfway through a fucking year, dude.
From the absolute beginning, it's been miserable. We thought there might be a light at the end of the tunnel. Dimes comes back from the neck injury, tears his ACL.
Yep.
First of all, shout out the toughness. You can say whatever you want about Daniel Dimes. You cannot say that he is not tough as nails. My man, first of all, tripped over his own player, tore his ACL in the act of tripping over Lawrence Cager, former New York Jet. Tore his ACL, went down, got up, said, "Nah, I got this." Tried to stay in the game, play quarterback in the NFL. As soon as all of his weight came back on his right foot at the back of the drop, collapses, goes down, torn ACL. Kid's definitely tough as nails. Now we got God knows how many weeks of Tommy DeVito. I know they just brought in someone to the practice squad.
Barkley.
They just brought Barkley into the practice squad. Don't know Tyrod's timetable to return.
4 weeks.
Tommy DeVito is, I mean, look, I don't want to bash on a kid that's living his dream, but he's just not going to cut it at the NFL level as a starter. The idea that Brian Dable and Joe Shane could even have a guy dressed, especially at the rate lately that quarterbacks go down in the NFL, the fact that you could have a guy dressed to be your backup that in any given moment is going to have to step onto the field. And then he comes in against the Jets. They don't throw a pass from the midway point of the second quarter until overtime.
Wild.
And that I discussed last week. Some blame has to go on Dable and Shane for the fact that the kid's even on the roster. I'm not saying I need a Josh Dobbs performance, but you need to have a kid in there that you could at least drop back and throw the ball, especially against the Jets. They're just going to maul you if you think you're going to run the ball all half. So now here we are. It's gone from bad to worse to absolute nightmare scenario. We're staring down the barrel of a top 3 pick for the New York Giants. You're Joe Shane. We going quarterback or we going Marvin Harrison Jr. in April?
What pick do I have?
Let's just make it fun and say you got the number 1 pick.
If I have the number 1 pick and the Cardinals don't have 2, I'm trading out and trading slightly back to 3. And then I'm taking whoever is left out of Drake May, Caleb Williams, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Don't know what that'll get me, but assuming somebody in the 3-4 range, preferably 3, wants to move up and take the greatest generational quarterback you've ever seen. Assuming someone wants to do that.
The biggest crybaby in the history of the Pac-12?
Let him do that. If he wants to do that, let him do that. And I don't know what 1 to 3 gets you. Probably a lot, but not colossally a lot. But maybe, because like I said, they're talking about this guy like he's the greatest ever. Or you take him. Because nobody, besides me and you, the common folk, nobody of real importance in football is going to blame the Giants for missing on Caleb Williams if they take him. 1.
I would, but
Common folk. Not no football guy in the NFL is going to be like, oh, Giants really, they shouldn't have taken him. You could have seen it from miles away. They're not saying that right now. So to me, it's like, you want to be safe? You want to keep your job as a GM? You take Caleb Williams, don't worry about it. You want to not keep your job, possibly, and look like a fucking genius, you skip him, or you trade out of it, and you go get Drake May or Marvin Harrison Jr. I wouldn't take Marvin Harrison Jr. number 1. Because we had a generational wide receiver on a team that needed a lot of help. And you know what happened? He pretended to pee like a dog in the end zone. And what did we get? We had a generational wide receiver. So what does Marvin Harrison Jr. do for the Giants right now? Yeah, it gives him the number 1. If you don't have an O-line to protect Daniel Jones, he can't throw the ball deep.
Well, right, but like we always say, if you could just line up at the fucking offensive line store and go shopping for starting offensive linemen, the Jets wouldn't be in the situation they're in right now.
No, of course not.
So I get the offensive line is a porous problem right now, but you're not gonna just be able to fix that overnight. Evan Neal has to play better. That's the bottom fucking line. Evan Neal.
It's time to write it off.
You're ready to write him off?
Yeah.
A season and a half in?
It's abysmal. It's abysmal. And he moved positions once already, right?
From what, left to right?
Yeah.
Well, Andrew Thomas is rock solid.
Yeah, but that's not the point. The point, they didn't draft Neal, right? They drafted Neal to be the generational left talent. Let's just say, or I don't want to say generational, a starting solid left tackle. After 1 year, they had to go and fucking draft another left tackle who they thought could be a solid left tackle because this guy wasn't in after 1 year. Moved him to the right tackle. Great. So they saw it within 1 year. He ain't our guy. He ain't our left tackle of the future. They get Andrew Thomas. Great. He's our left tackle of the future. That's fine. Now you're a year in at right tackle and it's not working out. Now what do you do? How long do you ride this out? Because, Barkley's going to leave his prime sooner than later. Daniel Jones, I don't even know if Daniel Jones ever entered his prime. I don't know what the fuck to think about Daniel Jones. It's so hard to put a grade on his season because he's tough as nuts, like you said, but he didn't play well. And the reason why he didn't play well, or part of the reason why he didn't play well, was because his offensive line couldn't fucking stop anything. Couldn't stop cardboard in the wind. Like, You know, like, there's a legit problem there. And you know how, like Trent Williams and the 49ers offensive line probably makes Brock Purdy look so much better than he probably is.
Oh, without a doubt.
And
there are wide receivers on that team that get open.
Yeah. A lot of problems there. Daniel Jones is on the 49ers. The 49ers are still undefeated.
Yeah, probably.
Especially since he can run. So it's not, I don't know if it's necessarily Daniel Jones. I just think that, you know, you're so far away at this point, and it's tough. It's tough to hear.
I don't think it's a Daniel Jones problem necessarily. There's probably need 3 or 4 new offensive linemen, depending on how you look at it. You need wide receivers that can create separation and get open, because none of them can. Jalen Hyatt's pretty good, but he's a speed guy. He's a burner. There's no time. There's no time for him to run a 9 route. Forget about that. Wan'Dale Robinson hurt again. No,
he's playing.
No, he's playing.
He wasn't banged up this year at all?
No, he's not banged up right now. Earlier, yeah.
Yeah, early in the year, Wan'Dale's banged up. I mean, when you look at this Giants receiving core of a year ago, and your big move to right the ship was Paris Campbell, that should have been red flags all over the place right there.
They're fucking gun-shy, dude. They're gun-shy from what happened with Kenny Galladay. They brought in a legitimate number 1. Now, what'd that guy do? Spit in their face. Like, you have to understand where they're coming from. You don't have to like it. As a Giant fan, you don't have to like what they're doing. But you gotta understand where they're coming from. Sorry, you date a girl, and she hangs out with the cool kids. She's beautiful. She's blonde, right? She cheats on you. Would you go out immediately date another blonde who hangs out with the cool kids, who looks the same as her? No, you wouldn't. You'd be like, she might cheat too. That's what just happened to the Giants. They got Kenny Galladay. They're like, we got our guy. He flops. You think they're gonna they're gonna try to overpay for Gabe Davis?
That would be, I don't know.
That would be a bad move, in my opinion. This doesn't happen like that. You can't just, he's the biggest free agent now, next year's class. Let's get him.
No, okay, so you can't maybe just go overpay for a guy like a Gabe Davis. But D-Hop was halvable. And it probably wouldn't have cost you much more than what it cost to bring in Paris fucking Campbell.
And he would have been traded already.
Who, D-Hop?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're talking about alternate timelines. Who knows how the season goes if D-Hop's on the team? You can't just assume that everything goes the same way. But he could have been. It's very possible.
He wasn't the difference between winning and losing. You know what I'm saying?
No, like we said, the receivers are an issue. The offensive line is an issue. The drop-off from Saquon to Matt Breida is absolutely fucking abysmal. You cannot point to another team in the NFL that has a bigger drop-off from their running back 1 to their running back 2 than the New York Giants, which for years now in the NFL, your rushing attack is not going to succeed with one guy. This isn't 2004 where Curtis Martin could carry the ball 35 times out of the power I and be successful doing it. It's not going to work. All of the good teams mix 2, if not 3 guys in there, and the variance isn't that far off from them. The variance between Saquon and Matt Breida is fucking night and day, and you even more so can't do that. I get Saquon's great. I get that he's great. I appreciate his greatness. When a guy's had 3 major injuries in the first 5 or 6 years of his career, you can't fucking not have a sustainable backup behind him.
Okay. It goes like this. For the same reason I just mentioned Kenny Galladay and the Giants will be afraid, is the same reason they'll be afraid to take a skill position player that high in the draft. Because the last time they did it, they took Saquon. And although it worked out, right, Saquon, for the most part, when he's on the field, he's a great player. It didn't translate to wins. So you're not going to go 6 years later and be like, you know what? I'll take Marvin Harrison. That's the full circle of this. They're not going to do that.
But the difference there was maybe it's hubris Maybe it's just a giant way and we owe it to Eli because Eli did so good by us. But I'm screaming to anyone who would listen back in 2018, Eli's done. He's done. So using a number 2 overall pick on a running back for a team that has an aging quarterback who is done, his best years are behind him, you're no longer winning anything with Eli. Now look, do you point to the guys that it would have been Sam Darnold? Oh, well, look how that turned out. Yeah, maybe, but still, at least if you went with Sam Darnold and it didn't work out, you didn't just fucking waste everything. They tried to make a win-now team centered around Eli entering his fucking late 30s, who was obviously cooked. They put all their resources into trying to win now, and part of that is going and getting a Saquon Barkley number 2 overall. And a year later, they fucking are abysmal for the next 5 years.
So, Jack doesn't remember this, but when Saquon came out, like, when I know we used the word, I used the word a lot to open the show, but they were speaking about him like he was generational talent. Like, you agree, right?
And he was. And I mean, look, the injuries happen, the injuries suck, and this is another thing. I don't want to sit here on my pedestal and take credit for predicting an injury. But what did I say about Saquon before he got drafted, before he was tied to any team? The way he runs, his jump cut style is an ACL tear away from him never being the same again. There are guys like Adrian Peterson who come back from it and set NFL records. And there are guys like Saquon Barkley whose entire game is predicated on it. Breece Hall is another example of this. Arian Foster is an example of this. I don't think Arian Foster ever tore an ACL, did he?
I don't think so.
Le'Veon Bell, that kind of style, the hunt and peck style of zone running where you make one cut and go, and you're prepared to run through guys instead of doing all of these jump cuts. What made Saquon so great in college was his explosiveness, his fucking leg strength, how low he got, and guys would be in position to be able to make the play, and then he jumps 2.5 yards to the left, and he's off to the fucking races. That lateral movement, you're dying to tear an ACL, and when you do, how are you going to come back from it? Now, granted, it took him 2 years, but Saquon came back from the ACL.
Yeah.
I just don't think we're in a situation. One, I don't think it's fair to Saquon to tag him again. Will they? Probably. I don't think it's fair to the player.
Absolutely, they'll tag him again. They will absolutely
They
tag
will
him again.
100% tag him again, but I don't think it's right to tag him again.
Yeah.
He's not worth.
Arian Foster tore his meniscus early in his career, then tore his groin in training camp of his final season, returning later in the that season, he tore his Achilles and retired.
Right, so he never really had an ACL.
Yeah, but at the end he was kind of with the injuries. It happened quick. So that's how I feel about the Giants. I mean, I think that they're in a restart situation, and I think that you're not going to go wrong with answering your question. I know in the longest form I physically can. I don't think that they can go wrong taking Caleb. I don't think that they can go wrong drafting Marvin Harrison in the sense that no one's going to scoff at it. No one's going to be like, you did the wrong thing. I just don't think either of them solve much. So if it's me and I have the number 1 pick, I'm trading out. I'm going to still try to stay in the top 5 if I can. And I'm going to get a lion's share because the only way you're going to build this team is with very good high draft cap. And I want to say one more thing, and that's it. I want to go to the Jets, that Dable should not even be on the hot seat.
I agree with that.
It shouldn't even be a fucking question.
I don't think either of these coaches should be. I don't think either of these coaches should be.
No, it should be this year and the next year for Dable, and then we start saying, well, all right, because we've seen he can do it. Just got to get these guys to fucking play good. And that's it. So, the Jets, go ahead.
Let's hear what you got to say, Jack. Because, man, is it not good.
Dude, it is... We already used abysmal, so I'll go with atrocious.
Let's go with historically bad.
Okay.
Because that's what this Jets offense is on pace to do. Historically bad. Historically low numbers. And it is just, look, I'm not going to be a Zach Wilson truther and a Zach Wilson apologist. Is he playing bad? You bet your ass Zach Wilson is playing bad. But to sit here and say, put in Tim Boyle or call up Trevor Siemian and put him in, and we think it's going to get fucking magically better. It's lazy, and it's just, you don't fucking understand what you're watching. If you think it's all on Zach Wilson, Alan Lazard, big ticket free agent, 4 years, $44 million to be one of fucking Rodgers' buddies. In the last 2 games, he has 2 catches, 1 first down, 4 drops, and 3 penalties. He's 6'5". Zach Wilson throws a jump ball to him on Monday night when the game is still a game. It's like a 7 or a 10-point game at this point. He tries to fucking catch it with his body. You are 6'5", my guy. Attack the football. Wasn't a bad throw from Zach Wilson. Again on Monday night, 10 drops. 10 drops.
Did they drop 2 touchdowns too? Or did they drop 1?
Yeah.
You can't win that way.
The offensive line play has been bad. No receivers besides Garrett Wilson create any separation. Tyler Conklin and CJ Uzomah can't fucking block to save their lives as tight ends. Dalvin Cook is playing like he doesn't want to be there anymore. You're upset that you came to a team that has a top 5 running back on the roster and you're not getting to play 40 snaps a game? Boo-hoo, dude. You know what?
Also, they can't run. They can't run.
You knew what the... Yeah, well, the offensive line is terrible. Billy fucking Turner, I mistook him for a running back on Monday night because of how often he's in the fucking backfield getting blown up. You would think it was fucking Michael Carter trying to pick up a blitz the way Billy Turner's back there. Zach Wilson's running into him.
Another thing, too, it's... Gotta look at Matt Hackett, dude.
Awful.
We gotta look. The amount of times... It's just like you called it on Thursday last week. Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, they came. They saw, and they fucking took everything, dude. Pillaged, plundered. They even took our fucking women, dude.
Dude, Joey Bosa took our children. Billy Turner's kids are calling Joey Bosa dad this week, dude.
It's abysmal.
So it was tough. It was
Now the offensive line woes. I fucking wish I saved the numbers, but I did. In the first 5 games with Elijah Vera Tucker, the New York Jets offense averaged 20.4 points per game with Elijah Vera Tucker on the team. Since the Denver game without him, they average, it's either 10.3 or 13. I don't remember. Either way, we're talking about league average to 31st or 32nd in the NFL. AVT is important. I said it last year when he went down. I said it again this year when he went down. We're going into a game. Connor McGovern, starting center, is hurt. Dwayne Brown came off of IR in practice this week. He's still hurt. Wes Schweitzer, the guard, is hurt. AVT is hurt. We got Max Mitchell playing guard and Billy Turner on the outside. They don't give Billy Turner... Dude, on I think 3 of the sacks the Jets let up on Monday night, they had 6 guys in protection against a 4-man rush. And Billy Turner's out there in an island against fucking Joey Bosa. Where's the help going if it's not going to the worst part of the offensive line? Not for nothing, if he needs help, don't leave him on the outside. Max Mitchell's a tackle. He's played pretty solid. Why is he playing right guard? Switch them. Do something. Make some sort of an adjustment that makes me feel like you actually care about the season. Because what I've seen over the last 2 or 3 weeks now is what we all kind of believed from the 4th snap of the first game of the year. We're punting on the year. We're not burning any more resources. We're waiting for Rodgers to come back.
It's sad to think about the fact that for Christmas this year, I want Aaron Rodgers to come back on Christmas Eve. I think that's sad to think about.
They need to still be in contention.
Exactly.
They need to still be in contention. He's not going to come back in less than fucking 5 months to play for a team that's 4 games below 500.
And also, I think it's almost impossible. I mean, unless modern medicine has come as far as it has since Cam Akers tore his Achilles, he's running back. It's a little different, I understand.
Cam Akers tore his Achilles again this week.
Again. And he'll be back next year in time for training camp, probably.
Play for his third team in 2 years.
Oh, dude, cooked. Either way, I just, it's so, like, I'm speechless. I can't really think about the Jets right now.
I'll tell you right now, at the end of the game, towards the end of the game, when it was still a game, when they were in the red zone at the start, it wasn't towards the end of the game, it was the start of the second half. They hit a few, he went 4 for 4, Zach, driving down the field at the start of the second half. They get into the red zone. Bad play call on first down. Then they come out on second down in 13 personnel. They come out. And they run a fucking two-man pad, 2 routes out in the field, passing play, and still get blown the fuck up. 2 plays in a row, they get sacked. And I got to see all these morons on Jets Twitter. Zach holds the ball too long. Bro, it was 1.3 seconds before Joey Bosa's making out with him in the backfield. It can't always just be Zach Wilson.
I pulled up this article. Goes along with what you guys were talking about. It was today. It was by, the paper is AM in New York. And the author is Nick Faria. Maybe pronouncing that wrong. But deja vu. Jets need to make significant changes to the offense. Not just quarterback to save the season. Talks about Elijah Vera Tucker being basically the biggest thing. And this is his suggestions. And it's funny that we're talking about this because this is basically what he says. We need more aggressive play calls. Adjust offensive line based on in-game results, not relationships. Billy Turner has got to go move Max Mitchell into his spot. Dwayne Brown, when he returns, needs to go to the right tackle. You cannot put him at left. Mekhi Becton is the guy there for the foreseeable future. Call up Israel
Abanaconda.
Yeah.
Abanaconda.
And make Dalvin Cook a healthy scratch. He just doesn't have it. More touches for Xavier Gibson and fewer for Alan Lazard. Don't start Trevor Siemian, but call him up to the team.
Okay. I don't have problems with any of that. I mean, a lot of that lines up with what I just said.
Right. And I think what I'm saying is I think all Jet fans are kind of on that same page. Where
maybe I just need to get my head out of Jets Twitter because we know the most vile, negative of the scum of the earth are the ones who are on Twitter all the time.
You are
saying
on Twitter
all this
a
negative
lot.
shit.
Not tweeting, but just viewing. You're on a lot of Twitter.
Yeah, but he's right. Those pages are very much fair weather fans. Very much unintelligent fans. Here we go. I'm going to be rude. Unintelligent fans. That's what they are.
I mean, I don't think that's a rude statement. I think you're making a
people who watch the game and watch Zach Wilson get sacked and yell, or any quarterback for that example, and yell at the quarterback immediately without understanding what a coverage sack is, what 1.3 seconds is to a quarterback, not enough. Those are the issues. It's a tough year in all sports for New York. It really is.
How about just the simple fact that for the first 2 years of Zach Wilson's career, we're all pissing and moaning about him running backwards 1,000,000 yards and wind up getting sacked for a loss of 20, or he throws the ball, tries to throw the ball away and it winds up getting picked off up the boundary. Well, the fucking antithesis to that is getting sacked. Sacks aren't always a bad thing. You keep possession of the ball, especially when you got a top 7 defense. I think they're 7th in scoring defense right now.
Yeah.
Any drive that ends in a kick is a good drive. It's okay.
Point, yeah.
It's okay if he gets sacked a couple of times.
The biggest thing...
The strip sacks, okay, I get it. But...
You gotta stay in contention. If this motherfucker is gonna make a dramatic return on the shortest time ever of a torn Achilles, you gotta be in contention. You gotta be close enough. And you gotta protect him. Because if he gets hit coming back early from an injury like that, and something, God forbid, happens, it's over. The career is over. So you gotta protect him, and you gotta stay in contention until he gets back. And if let's just say it's 4 more weeks, you gotta go at least 2-2. You gotta be 6-6 when he gets back. You gotta be 7-5. You have to be.
And I gotta tell you, I can't even imagine what this rejuvenated Raiders team is gonna do on primetime. Max Crosby is gonna eat Billy Turner for lunch if he's playing right
Antonio
tackle.
Pierce has those boys running.
They're fucking ready to run through a wall. My last point I wanted to get out about the Jets before we have to recall you here. Go back to draft night. Let's go back to draft night. I understand that sometimes you want to do the draft and stash move, and it makes sense because we will be moving on from Carl Lawson at the end of the year, and you can never have enough pass rushers in the NFL, and especially in Rob Saleh's system where they blitz the fewest in the league. They're 32nd in blitz rate in the NFL.
They send 4 every time.
They send 4 every time, and those boys are getting the fuck after it.
By the way, shout out Jermaine Johnson.
Shout out Jermaine Johnson.
Shout out every single...
And Bryce Huff and Quentin Williams. Not Michael Clemens. I'm mad at him. But let me get my point out because I'm running out of time here. We go to draft night. We draft Will McDonald, who I'm sure will be a nice player in the NFL. He got a sack on Monday night against the Chargers. He's been a healthy scratch half the season. When he is on the field, he's playing more special teams than anything else. He's not a regular in this rotation with all of the other guys. The Jets got to be the only team in the league that regularly rotate 9 guys in on the defensive line. Jackson Smith and Jigba was available when we took Will McDonald. Jackson Smith and Jigba as the wide receiver 3 in Seattle, who's competing for production with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker, and Zach Charbonnet, has more catches, yards, and touchdowns than Allen Lazard. Jordan Addison, lighting the fucking world on fire in Minnesota, was available. And Zay Flowers. All 3 of them.
Johnson, I have it up. I haven't figured you were going to do this, so I'm here. You're talking about just offensive players.
I was just talking about those 3 guys.
Talk about
Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Those 3 guys.
Go back to back to back. 5 picks after the Jets.
Yeah. All of them were available.
Are there any other offensive players that went on the board on that time?
After Dalton Kincaid, 3 picks after that.
Quentin Johnston went late in the first round.
Late in the first round.
No receivers were taken before the Jets picked.
Jonathan Mingo.
Sam Laporta, Mike Mayer, all went in between the Jets' first and second pick. Musgrove.
Another thing, but...
Jaden Reed. But that was after the Jets' second pick, but still. No, I agree with you. You know?
We just brought in all of Aaron Rodgers' goons. And let's look at Aaron Rodgers' goons so far. Lazard, I've fucking beaten it to death already. Randall Cobb, they're the worst passing offense in the NFL. When he was on the field, they were the worst. When he's off the field, they're still pretty bad. But he has been absolutely fucking dreadful for them when he's played.
He's 100 years old, dude.
Billy Turner is the other fucking... Billy Turner, Aaron Rodgers' goon. Absolutely fucking terrible. Playing Matador offensive line out there. And then the biggest of all of Aaron Rodgers' fucking goons is Nate Hackett, who it seems like he doesn't even want to try. At this point, go down with the ship. If we're going down with Zach Wilson, I'd rather see him throw 25 interceptions the rest of the way and fucking try to light the world on fire than just collapse in a timid fucking fetal position trying to play safe.
Yeah.
I'm all out of points on the Jets, so...
That's fine. We're going
I wanted to reiterate the Nat Hackett thing, but you're beating a dead horse. It's not going to fucking change.
We will be right back with Guess the Lines. We're back. We're going to do Guess the Lines. Before we get into that, Jack just told me when we were off camera he has something he wants to say quick. Jack, let's hear it.
I think this year, and I know I sound very defeated right now, but I think I'm going to take the NBA perspective on things here. I think I'm going to go for some players this year. So my first selection for the fandom for the rest of the year is going to be Josh Dobbs. I think that's the first guy I'm going to pay attention to.
I mean, good on Josh Dobbs, man. Dude's a part-time rocket scientist.
Yeah.
Are we fucking kidding?
That's what I'm saying, dude. I mean... He's just a guy. He's a dog.
He is a dog.
He's definitely a dog, and what he did was certainly didn't know the names of almost anyone in the huddle and still led the team to a win. Amazing for Josh Dobbs. Let's guess these lines. We're going to start with Thursday night. What a fucking murderer's row of primetime games that we have this week. Buys are going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, the Los Angeles Rams, the Miami Dolphins, and the Philadelphia Eagles. So, I mean, 3 out of those 4 teams are some of the more exciting powerhouses in the NFL we won't get to see this week. Tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football, Carolina Panthers are traveling to Chicago to take on, I imagine, still the Tyson Bagent-led Bears. Carolina not very good. Chicago not very good. Chicago's at home. Chicago -1.5.
I did not know how to score this game at all. I don't know what Vegas is thinking. So originally I was going to go with a pick'em, but then I did the one in doubt field goal to the whole team. So I went with Chicago -3.
I had 2.5 Chicago.
And our spread is 3.5 Chicago.
So that's you, Jack.
That's me.
$9:30 a.m. Germany game, neutral site field. They love themselves some American football in Germany. Indianapolis Colts traveling, will be the away team. New England will be the home team. I got the Colts -3.
I took the Colts -4.
Colts -1.
It is the Colts -1.5, and I was not thinking about a neutral site game, so.
And the Patriots win the game.
You think the Patriots win?
Probably.
No, fuck the Patriots. Sorry.
This is one they can grab.
They don't need to be grabbing nothing, dude.
No, they do. The Giants, I want the Giants to get the #1 pick now.
Well, you need fucking Carolina to win on Thursday night.
Yeah, which I can't imagine not happening with Tyler Baggett, even though he's not bad.
No, dude. Tyson Bagent looks better than Justin Fields right now. Yeah, I said it.
But they're both hot garbage, so.
Houston Texans, the Stroud boys. We love us some Stroud boys here at this podcast. They're traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. I got Cincinnati -4.5 at this one.
I also took Cincinnati -4.5.
Cincinnati -6.
Spread is Cincinnati -6.5.
They found it.
It's like the kid never left. The New Orleans Saints traveling to Minnesota to take on the Josh Dobbs-led Minnesota Vikings. Justin Jefferson was announced today. He was designated to return to practice. I don't know if that means we see him on Sunday. I do have the Saints -3.5 on the road in this one.
I got Saints -2.
I was looking, and I was like, I don't know what the deal is going to be. I took New Orleans 2.5. Because I didn't know if a field goal was going to get it done. Our spread is, let me find it, New Orleans 2.5. Wow.
So
bing
you
bong.
got bing bong.
Bing
Wow.
bong.
I fucking suck at this game.
Great success.
Green Bay Packers going to Pittsburgh, take on the Steelers. The Steelers are weirdly respected in Vegas all year this year. I'm keeping it going.
But
Pittsburgh -2.
You know who's also weirdly respected this year? The Packers. So I went Packers 3.5.
I went Steelers 3.
It's Steelers -3.
Is it?
It
I
is.
fucking suck so many cocks, dude. Tennessee Titans. Will Levis announced the official starter for the rest of the year. Ryan Tannehill will be the backup. Going to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. I have the Buccaneers -2.5 at home.
I took the Tennessee Titans -3.
All right, I'm probably wrong. I got the Bucks -1.5.
Our spread is Tennessee -1.
God damn.
Do I get that for proper team or?
Yeah, you get it.
Okay. Cool.
I like Tennessee here.
Yeah, I'm thinking about playing it to -3. Thinking about it.
Tampa Bay's defense isn't a joke. You know?
It isn't, and they're at home, but
Yeah, but so
Well,
far,
why
Will
was
Levis has
the-
answered all the right questions and said the right things. Like, he seems like he actually wants to fucking win. You know what I mean? And be there, and, like, he wants to be the guy. So I think he is watching film. I think he's doing what he's got to do. And I think he knows a few wins here solidifies him as the future of Tennessee, because if they don't play themselves into a top pick, he's the guy.
100%.
So
And how many years are we gonna? How many consecutive years are we going to invest prime draft capital into a quarterback here? You know,
right?
That'd be 3 straight years with a premium draft pick on a quarterback. You can't do it.
Malik Willis was like a 3rd or 4th round pick.
3rd round pick, first round, 2nd round, 3rd round.
Well, did they own the first last year?
What?
Did they own their first last year?
Yeah, who'd they take with their 1st round pick last year?
Traylon Burks.
No, last year. 2
Last
years
year?
ago was Traylon Burks.
It
was a lineman, Peter Skoronski. I got it. It was Skoronski, the lineman.
Oh, you got it, dude.
Yeah, because he called Taylor Lewan and asked permission to wear number 77. San Francisco 49ers coming off the bye, going to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Maybe I'm tripping here, but I have San Fran laying 6.
I took Jacksonville -3 at home.
No.
We'll see. I know you're saying
-4.5.
Let's see. San Fran -3. Right number, wrong team. It's okay.
Me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you.
Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens, who are just absolutely trouncing everybody in their path right now on an absolute path of destruction. I have them laying 8.5 at home.
Wow.
I'll see how you go. I'm curious to see.
I know it's an AFC North divisional game, but
yeah,
that's
why I lowered it.
They're slapping the shit out of everybody.
I got 6.5. I can't imagine it being more
You
than
see,
one.
I like that because I also have 6.5. Our spread is -6.
God damn,
They don't.
dude.
Vegas hasn't been giving Baltimore a touchdown most of the year, and I feel like
it's that Cleveland
weird.
defense too, though.
It's the Cleveland defense, but Baltimore also played Houston, and I think they were only 7 or 6.5.
I'm getting shut out, dude. This is embarrassing. The Atlanta Falcons are traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, I believe, is going to get the nod in his first game back since tearing his ACL last year in, December, right? He tore his ACL?
Yep.
So I was originally thinking Clayton Tune again, and then I remembered Kyler was coming back. It didn't swing the favorite for me, but it brought me down to Atlanta -1.5.
I took Atlanta 2.5 because, again, Vegas is respecting them, even though Arthur Smith is quite possibly the worst head coach in the NFL right now.
I disrespected. I guess I disrespected the Cardinals. I took Falcons -4.5.
Well, here's the thing. Kyler might come back on Sunday, and he's going to get the nod, and that's all fine and good. But Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 comes out on Thursday.
Oh, no, dude.
And we all know how Kyler likes him some Call of Duty.
That's horrible, dude. Our spread is Atlanta -1.5.
Let's fucking go!
He needed it. He needed that one.
I needed it. Sometimes you need to see one go in the basket, dude.
All
right. The Detroit Lions are traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers, who, they beat the Jets handedly here, but the Jets' defense really showed out against them, and the Detroit's defense is no fucking laughingstock. I got Detroit -3.
Detroit -2.
I also took Detroit -3, so that is, let's see our spread. Detroit -3?
It's Detroit -3.
Yeah, back-to-back for your boy over here.
Back-to-back bing bong, but Jack really fucked me. Really bet me over Raw. And that bing bong puts Jack in the lead.
Wow.
I feel shocked.
All right,
I know. I'm pretty shocked.
The fucking game everyone's going to have their TVs pointed on. 425, game of the week slot. On probably going to be on Fox. Got Jim and Tony on the call, I can only hope. Big Blue, the G-Men, the New York Football Giants, going to Jerry World to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Why don't you go first, Anthony?
Okay, you got it. 17.
Wow. Playing a game of how high did you go? Jim, how high did you go?
16.5.
Okay. I went 15. I went just over a touchdown. And that is 16.5.
Let's fucking go, dude.
By the way, for your boy.
By the way, the Giants won something this year, dude. They're now the biggest underdog this season in the NFL at 16.5 points.
Bro, they got me at quarterback. They're going to hand the ball 76 times. They better be fucking underdogs by fucking 80 points.
That's a turkey, right? That's a turkey on Bing Bong.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. So now, for those keeping score at home, we got 3 games left. Jack has 7, Alessino has 6, and I have 6.
You've hit 3 Bing Bongs in a row to come back. Incredible.
Yeah, and if you didn't tie the Bing Bong with me, me and Alessino would be tied for first, and you'd be in last.
Oh, thanks, man.
Washington Seawards traveling to Seattle to take on the Seahawks and the 12th man. Never discount the value of that 12th man.
Yep.
I got Seattle minus 5.5.
I took Seattle minus 7. Gave him the touchdown.
I took Seattle minus 6.
Bing Bong Alessino, Seattle minus 6.
God, fuck.
And I had fucking 6 written down. I had 6 written down, and I was like, no, fuck it. The Seattle's been rolling recently. You know, fuck it. Let's give him a touchdown. Why not? Dude, fuck Vegas.
The Nueva Yorkiettes going to Las Vegas to play Mark Davis's Raiders. I got the Raiders minus 1.5 in this one.
Me too.
I had the Raiders minus 5.5. Yo, you won't believe this. Jets are minus 1.
The Jets are minus 1. I'm awarding no points.
That's
No one gets a
fine,
point.
dude. I'll concede points.
The Jets are minus 1 in this game.
I have a chance to tie.
You have a chance to tie or win. I have a chance to tie with a Bing Bong. Denver Broncos at Buffalo. What do you got, Anthony?
All right, here we go. I'm going to do it. Buffalo minus 9.5.
Jesus Christ.
I had 10.5.
I got Buffalo minus 6.5.
Spread is Buffalo minus 7.5.
Alessino gets another win by 1. Final
Sometimes
scores.
it doesn't happen how you
Final
want it to
scores
happen.
8 to 7 to 7. But hey, how about your boy? I didn't score a point until the first 4 o'clock game. I went from Thursday Night Football all the way through the 1 p.m. slot without scoring a point.
Not something to be proud of, but I understand.
What?
I understand where you're going with it. But not exactly.
We turned it around
I
late.
hit 1 game till 4 o'clock and then got hot.
Now, I could be wrong about this. I don't think you've lost a single week you've been here for Guess the Lines, right?
1 week I lost to Jack.
And Jack bent us over every week you weren't here. I think I'm the only one without a win.
Really?
Brian got at least 1 win when you weren't here.
Brian got 2 wins.
There was
while
a
you
point.
weren't here.
There was a point where Jack was guessing his lines, not in the room with us, and also reading the spreads off of his phone. Bing bong after bing bong. I was like, "You're not doing this anymore, dude.
Was not. Okay.
I'm not having it anymore."
Go read.
'cause I
Go
don't
watch the
trust you.
film.
'Cause I
Watch the
don't trust
film.
you.
Watch the film.
Watch what film?
Watch all the fucking film. I wrote down lines separate from my fucking lines, and then I read them live on the air.
I was just saying I didn't trust you. That's all. Let's pull up this fucking nonsensical Thursday night game.
Okay.
Carolina at Chicago. Can't wait.
I'm gonna shit myself.
Brother in Christ. Oh. Too bad I'm only allowed to shit in one toilet. I got the game up, dude. We're good.
All right. Well, what do you fucking think the fans are gonna absorb the lines through osmosis?
It's 3.5. We just fucking
And,
said
okay,
it.
what's the over/under?
Over-under's 38.5.
Over/under's 38.5 points. Chicago's 3.5 point favorites. I want,
Under.
my heart says Carolina, but my head says Chicago because Carolina is terrible.
They're both. It's not a good game, but they've done this how many times to us? So
We're saying it's not a good game, and this game's going to end 27-24 in a fucking thriller. But we say this every week, so you know what? I don't fucking know. I just want to point out this parlay on DraftKings. It's called Adam We Want More. And it's DJ Moore to score a touchdown, Thielen to score a touchdown, and 40 receiving yards for each of them. It's plus 800.
I'll go revenge game DJ Moore.
I love a little revenge game.
I'll buy it. I'll buy a revenge game DJ Moore, but I don't really know what that looks like. Let me look at what they got the over-unders for DJ Moore at. 53.5. I'll go over DJ Moore.
With Badgett throwing him the ball?
Yeah. I think.
You
let
feel
me
good
see what
about
his
it?
average was last week. Garbage, right? The week before. I know that Mooney was the leader last week, right?
Yeah, but didn't he catch a fucking... he caught a ball, like, at the line of scrimmage and then fucking took off with it. If you look at Tyson Badgett's spray chart, it's ridiculous how many passes are completed within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage either way.
Oh, yeah. DJ Moore was 3 for 44 with 5 targets. And then Mooney was 5 for 6. Receptions to targets for 82 yards. His long was 38. So he did. Mooney deservedly was the leading receiver. But he also had Marcus Lattimore on him.
Important thing to note, Khalil Herbert coming off the IR this week.
But yes.
Khalil Herbert off the IR this week. He's playing.
Is that exciting?
I think
that's Deontay Foreman's running like a fucking ball of razor blades right now.
I know, I'm starting him in fantasy.
Deontay Foreman you're starting?
Yeah, that's where we're at. My team is just destroyed. I mean, I'm 6-2, and this is what we're dealing with. No, 6-3. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know, it kind of scared me. 53 seems like where it should be then, I guess. I'll go Darnell Mooney, 29.5. He's over on both games with...
I like a Tyson Badgett rushing touchdown.
Oh, really?
Probably plus 700.
Another fun fact, even though it's only Wednesday, Khalil Herbert has the best odds to score a touchdown at plus 125.
260 anytime for Badgett.
260?
Uh-huh.
It was plus 600 last week.
I'm just telling you what it is, pal.
That's insane to me, dude. Well, now I don't like it. At plus 260, I don't like it.
DJ Moore for touchdowns, plus 160. Chuba, 135.
Miles Sanders is 450 to score.
Miles Sanders sucks, dude.
I just find it hard to believe that he won't get in faster than Badgett won't get in.
I'm sorry, what?
Badgett is 260.
Right.
Miles Sanders is more than double that. No, a little less than double that, 450. I find it hard to believe that there's a better chance that the quarterback of the Bears rushes in a touchdown before arguably a guy who's going to split touches with Chuba Hubbard is going to score.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thought process there is going to be a low-scoring game and, the art of the quarterback sneak.
How about let's get absolutely silly, no touchdown scored.
I could get behind it. This is a game.
500.
This is a game where I could get behind it. My problem is that the defenses are no good.
Yeah.
Okay, I have something fun. First team touchdown score. You know how we always approach these? We were always like, oh, it's got to be this guy. It's got to be this guy, right? Remember how we always say it's got to be like the fourth string tight end or some bullshit like that?
Yeah.
Tommy Tremble for the first touchdown score for the Panthers is plus 1,600.
Well, he's the starting tight end, but I get
No,
where
he's not. Hayden Hurst is.
You're right. Hayden Hurst is there now. So he is the second string tight end.
Or we could go Emir Smith-Marset at plus 2,000, which I'm not going to lie, his name's electric, so I kind of want to, but...
Who is that?
Emir Smith-Marset? I couldn't fucking tell you, dude.
Is that a fullback? An H-back type?
It might be, dude. I don't know. Now I'm going to go look at the Bears. Big Bob Tonyan is also plus 1,600 for a first touchdown score. And so is Mercedes Lewis, who's on the Bears. News to me.
Mercedes Lewis
Here's one for you.
is a fossil.
Steven Sullivan on the Panthers.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Tight end. 5 targets last week, 4 catches, 28 yards.
Plus 2,200?
No, plus 1,100 anytime, plus 4,000 first.
Is Cole Kmet hurt?
No, that's the Panthers. Cole Kmet is way up there.
That's the third string tight end on the Panthers?
Yeah. But he's getting a lot of playing. He's getting as much snaps as Hayden Hurst.
What about Tommy Tremble? Is he not playing?
Third in snaps.
Huh.
2 targets, 2 receptions, 12 yards for Tremble.
Okay, well I'll go one even further.
That's plus 195.
I'll go one further for you. Velus Jones Jr. to be the first touchdown scorer for the Bears. Plus 4,000.
I'm so out on first touchdown bets. I feel like you should just go play Powerball.
Dude, I feel like I'm going to test this theory, and I'm going to spread a little magic on everyone.
Good. You make it so you can't lose.
No, only the third string tight ends. No one else. And then I'll throw a unit on Mike Culliver.
I'm going to go, and I'll tell you right now, and it's not good. It's not fun. It's not sexy. God,
There's nothing fun or sexy about this game, so.
Because Dielen's receptions is fucking high, man.
What is it, like 6.5?
Exactly 6.5.
Oh, well.
That's high.
That is a high number. I know exactly what I'm going to do. It's the same thing I did last Thursday night when we saw Tennessee and Pittsburgh duke it out.
Not bet?
Under. The under cashed by exactly 1 point last Thursday night.
It did.
They're teams with more offensive firepower than these two teams, albeit a little bit better defensively than these two teams, but way more offensive firepower. And there was way more early scoring output than I ever anticipated in that game. And we still cashed the under when it was all said and done. Under 38.5 is going to be my play. It's not sexy. It's boring. It's minus 110, minus 115. That's going to be my play. If I'm going to get silly on a little parlay action, I like the idea of a DJ Moore revenge game. Maybe we'll look for the alternate line over 50 yards, 4 or 5 catches. Maybe we throw a score in there.
I found something. I got a little silly. I was looking at just touchdowns in general. Chicago Bears defense to score 2 touchdowns.
No way. What are the odds on that? Plus 50,000?
9,000.
9,000 for the Bears to score 2 touchdowns on defense.
He's thinking. He's having a thought. We are quite literally digging to the bottom of the barrel on this one.
Yeah, I got nothing.
It'll probably be pump parlay time tomorrow night, so we'll see how that goes.
I mean, I know you won't be here. Big playoff game tomorrow night for you, but I'm sure we might have a little extra tag at the top of tomorrow's show about the Thursday game. So, I mean, we can move on from it.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
All right. I'm going to let all the people listening now, if you only care about football, please feel free to turn the show off. We'll catch you tomorrow night for the Thursday episode. Let's talk round ball. Let's go to the association.
Yeah,
More
buddy.
importantly, we're going to start with our hometown, New York Knickerbockers. Now, I know Monday against the Clippers, he had a bit of a game, and I haven't recalculated the numbers, factoring Monday into it. But Julius Randle is playing all-time terrible basketball right now. I'm talking all-time bad. The last time somebody had this low of a true shooting percentage was 1959, when white people were still loosely using racial slurs in public and not being concerned about any ramifications and genuinely meaning it. Let's go even further than that. From the start of the season through before Monday's game, Julius Randle. Let's see if you got the answer for this, Anthony. Julius Randle on shots, on field goals attempted between 0 and 3 feet from the basket. Julius Randle is shooting what?
46%.
What?
46%.
So not even close.
Hold on, can I guess?
You can guess, yeah.
16%.
Closer, still not there.
Higher or lower?
Lower.
Oh,
This is before Monday's game.
No,
This is before Monday's game.
No,
Julius Randle from 0 to 3 feet is shooting 7%. 7.
You know, 60 is low, too.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I said it to Connor at work last week or early this week. He's like, that can't be real. I'm like, no, it's real. It's damn real.
That's
I think his overall shooting percentage was 29% going into Monday's game.
That's crazy.
We've used abysmal. We've used atrocious. We've used historically the worst of all time. What other adjectives
now we get to Julius Randle, and it's racist how bad it is. We have to go back to a time where the country was still openly racist to find someone playing as bad as Julius Randle is playing right now. We're talking like fucking Jim Crow still. We're going before color TV.
Steak dinners were sold on TV, dude. This is the last time somebody shot this bad in the NFL.
And then we're watching the game,
NFL,
the first tournament game against the Milwaukee Bucks, where the Knicks aren't tied or within 4 pretty much from the first 2 minutes all the way through to the fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson, our hero in New York City, he's our Batman right now. He has a career-high game. He's got 40 points. They finally take a lead. Then it winds up Lillard comes back and shoots an absolute fucking dagger 3, takes the lead back by 1. We're talking less than a minute, around a minute left in the game now. Brunson has the ball. Now, they run action, which is the same action earlier in the quarter, a few possessions before that, where Julius is supposed to get the ball. And the last time they ran the action, Julius got the ball and popped one on Giannis, and it went in. So now they run the same action. Jalen Brunson doesn't give it to him. Jalen takes an arguable, not a great shot, not a high percentage shot, not a good look. But what does Foulius do? He fucking goes palms to the sky. He goes palms to the sky, shakes his head and shrugs, and then walks, dude. In the biggest possession of the game, walks back, dude. Walks back. And then, on top of that, it was Grimes?
Yeah.
Couldn't have been a softer foul in the history of basketball. Yeah. Get away from him. Just get away from him at that point. The worst foul you could give is when there's barely contact, but the ref still has to call it. Just get out of the restricted area. Either go up and be physical, or don't fucking stand anywhere near him. Because now it's a 4-point game.
I watched it 10 times over.
The play?
Sequence, yep.
What I will say about the Knicks in that Buck game in particular, that defense is real.
Yeah. No, they are.
For the first 10 minutes of the fourth quarter, the Knicks gave up 1 field goal.
Dude, they're versing the Spurs tonight. It's about to start in 2 minutes.
Yeah, they're 10.5-point favorites.
Well, now, Vessel's back.
Oh, is he?
So they dropped to 9.
Oh.
But still, 9 against the Spurs team that, I mean, they're not good, but, like, you know.
No, they're a
The
little...
Knicks to be minus almost every game is a blessing, boys. I don't think we realize it.
What?
It's a blessing that
No.
minus on most of their games.
Let me, to your comparison for Jalen Brunson, allow me to work my point here now. He's not Batman. He's no Batman. That's Superman, dude. He's flying through the sky. He's everyone's favorite. Everyone loves him. He's got his cape on.
Have some goddamn culture. New York is Gotham City. That's why I made the Batman.
RJ Barrett is fucking Batman, dude. It's not this hero. He's not the hero this city wants. He's the hero this city needs.
Brunson?
No.
RJ.
Barrett. Every time RJ Barrett plays for the New York Knicks, they are in a better position. They are better in scoring. They are better on defense. They are a complete better team. They are one of the best. They are top 3 team in the East, if not top 2.
He's one of the only guys that wants to get fouled.
He's one of the only guys that scores the ball. He's one of the only guys that can defend at a high clip. So, you're raising your hand over there, sir. Yes, please.
I've been saying this since the day they drafted him and never wavered. He is the superstar they need.
And it has never been more prevalent than now.
But
Never.
you gotta take the step. If you're not gonna get close this year to matching Donovan Mitchell's skill, potential, star power, they're gonna trade you for him. So you got 76 games left to go reach that star potential, or you're going to get traded for the star that you were supposed to be. This is the issue I have. Because him on a friendly contract, Brunson on a friendly contract, they can go get a third star if RJ Barrett is going to act like one. If he's not, and he's just going to be just a little bit above average, it doesn't matter. So he's got to get into the Donovan Mitchell echelon.
Here's where I think you're wrong. Because Leon Rose fucking sits on his hands. He doesn't trade for anyone. He doesn't fucking do shit. He built the whole fucking team through the draft.
And what's going to happen when Embiid becomes available?
I hope to God they don't
Julius
trade
Randle, RJ Barrett, Evan Fournier, 3 first-round picks, and 2 swaps.
And I hate that.
I don't.
No, that's
you two don't hate it. I think
what?
That is progression.
What do you mean?
That is the correct thing to do.
To make that trade for Joel.
100%.
Yeah, I agree.
If he becomes available, you have to fucking do it. Unless RJ Barrett is going to go become an all-star this year and really want it, really mean it, then you can say to yourself, maybe we'll wait. We'll try to coax somebody into a free agency. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. RJ is playing at an all-star level pace right now.
He's missed 2 games already.
He's missed 2 games. Every other game he's played, he has been in above 18 points.
Here's the issue, though. More so than the fact that he's missed the 2 games. Why has he missed the 2 games?
Sore knee.
Knee soreness. Does knee soreness go away?
No.
Does that nag all year?
Most of the time, yeah.
Is that usually something that affects players deep into February and
I'd say so. But
yeah.
But the nature of it is he can't be the third scorer on this team. He's never going to average 25 points a game if we go to him as the third option. So either Randall needs to take a back seat and literally have 8 games and just be okay with it and shoot 3 of 5 from the field, 8, 8, or you got to get rid of him now so Barrett can score 25 so you can go get a third guy behind him. There's no, you know what I mean? You're not letting him grow.
Now let me ask you, before we move forward here, what do you think the price tag is on Karl Anthony Towns right now? And I'm not saying trade. No. I'm not saying trade for him. I want to know what you think the price tag is if you're the Knicks. Does it have to include RJ?
No, because they have Ant Edwards.
What do they need? They need forward scoring.
It's probably
I don't know, because their team is so weird.
I think it's Julius, if I may.
Definitely Julius.
It's Julius. It's Quickly or Grimes.
I think it's Julius, Grimes, and Quickly.
Yeah.
Julius, Grimes, Quickly, and picks.
No shot. No shot. That dude sucks. Karl Anthony Towns doesn't want to win.
You can say that dude sucks and he doesn't want to win no matter what. If that guy's going to wind up opening the floor for the scoring that Barrett needs to prove that he has, this is the problem. Here's how I feel right now about the Knicks. This is the nightmare scenario for the Knicks. They are doing good, and now they are in a cancerous position where they are forced to make a move. They have tried to grow it.
They're not forced to make any moves. I don't think they're forced to make any moves right now.
Well, what were we just talking about? What do you guys believe?
We're talking about if Joel Embiid becomes available, if he openly comes out between now and the trade deadline and says, you guys suck, you fucked up the Harden thing, I don't have enough help, I want to go somewhere where I can win and will be appreciated, then the Knicks have to pick up the phone. They don't have to make a move.
The Knicks is they move Randall for a superstar in a 3-team deal. Randall goes elsewhere, Embiid to the Knicks. That's the way you do it. Randall goes and helps another team in the West. The Knicks get Embiid. The 76ers get young as you can get. And the Knicks also get P.J. Tucker. P.J. Tucker and Embiid go. Tucker for the year.
P.J. Tucker's a Clipper, dude.
What?
He's a Clipper.
P.J. Tucker went over in the Harden trade.
He just got moved, right?
He went over in the Harden trade.
There you go. See, I'm thinking ahead of my own time. That's fucked up.
I know. Here's I just thinking about, because we're always talking about moving Randall whenever it comes to the Knicks. How do the Pacers sound like a spot for Foulias?
Randall is not a trade piece. Julius Randle is not a trade piece. The only value that Julius Randle holds as a trading piece is a contract, as a salary matcher. No one's going to just give you a pick to take back Randle.
I think Randle will be a great fourth option.
Right, but with that contract, are you going to give up an asset to get back him? The only way Randle, especially the way he's playing right now, the only way Randle is going to get moved is if there are picks attached to him, or if he's just a contract filler and RJ is really the centerpiece of the trade, or Grimes or IQ.
I'm still on the bandwagon of hopefully the Pelicans tank and you go and get Zion.
I don't know about Zion, man. I really don't.
Crazy, tremendous upside still. You need him to do everything besides score. Let Barrett score. And I don't know.
How do you do? It's so difficult to go about, though. You're gonna say it's not, but we're also common folk. We already think about this. We think about it on a daily basis.
I think the Knicks can win 45 to 50 games without making a move.
I do too.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
I think they will make a move at the deadline. It'll be trading Fournier for a first-round pick,
which is wild.
To some team that just needs shooting.
It's not though, because Fournier gives you good shooting.
And he doesn't fucking play.
Yeah, because Thibodeau's holding him fucking hostage.
He's a terrible defender. We can't knock that.
Tibbs isn't going to play you if you don't play defense.
They're going to win games off defense. You can't play a guy who's horrible at defense. We're going to cut out.
Do you want to come back? Do you have any more to say?
About the Knicks now.
All right. Do you have any more NBA?
Wemby's a freak, dude.
The Spurs are my favorite team to watch on League Pass this year.
I'm going to go watch the game right now.
I mean, it's fine that they're playing the Knicks, but like on League Pass, I've been watching the Spurs. They look fun.
Here's what I want to say, and we're going to lose you at any given second here, so just give me I agree or I disagree. We're done with Anthony Davis as a number one guy.
Agreed.
LeBron James should not be a top 3 player in the NBA at 39 years old.
Agreed, but he is.
Right, but he is. He's the driving force behind the Lakers. We just lost Anthony. Yeah, Anthony Davis, I don't know. We're in a situation now where he needs to prove.
And he's got a massive fucking contract.
He needs to prove to the Lakers that he can still be the guy going forward in with life without LeBron, and he's not doing that right now. You can't have who's supposed to be your best player, a dominant big, a guy with an all 75 guy, a guy that everyone says is unstoppable in his game when he's on, and he's giving you 2.5 points. We can't have it. We can't have it. We won't have it.
We can't have it. We won't have it. But the problem is the Lakers are built for LeBron. They're not built for Anthony Davis.
Right, but they made the move for Anthony Davis not just with the short term in mind. It was very upfront, everybody about it, Pelinka and everyone involved when they made the move, that the idea is when LeBron moves on, AD is going to be the guy. That's why AD inked a long-term extension and LeBron did not.
Yeah. Here's how I feel about Anthony Davis right now. I think 3 years from now we're going to be saying that the whole deal with signing Davis long-term and then letting LeBron walk, LeBron's going to do his thing. LeBron's going to LeBron. I think we're going to look at this like this is a horrible idea for the Lakers because the guy's already injury prone. He's getting fucking older. He's going to be in his 30s. For a guy who was consistent.
He is. He's my age. He's 30 already.
For a guy who has consistent injury problems, for a guy who has a meme for having sore fucking braids, soft as baby shit.
Anthony Street Clothes Davis.
Why? Why am I looking at the Lakers past LeBron?
He loves going to the Crypto.com arena in his Giorgio Armani and his fucking red bottoms as opposed to wearing the Lakers uniform and playing.
I can't think about the Lakers because it's LeBron. It's the LeBron tour, dude. I'm done. And then whatever piss poor franchise that Bronny gets drafted to is gonna have a fun year. I think that's gonna be the fucking epitome of the end of LeBron's career. And we're all going to be sitting here, and some of us are going to shed a tear about it.
Well, now he's talking about maybe sticking it out till Bryce shows up, but we'll see. We'll see.
Dude, that would be
he's like a sophomore.
Wild.
I got 2 more things I want to hit you with, and then we will.
I have a little Spurs thing before
you close with it then. I got 2 things I want to hit you with.
It's just a small addition. Small. Very small.
Close with it. Let me hit these 2 things
Hit
first.
'em.
Are you ready to fold on the Phoenix Suns yet?
Have been, always have been.
What?
Always have been.
I thought we disagreed about the Suns at the start of the year.
I said I wasn't sure.
Didn't we scream at each other? Didn't we scream at each other?
I think we screamed at each other about the fact that I thought that you... What was the... I forgot what
Didn't
the
we scream about the over-under? Because I went under and you went over and you were talking about...
I think we screamed about another team. I don't think we screamed about the Suns.
No, I'm pretty sure... Because I was arguing about who's going to play point guard and you said Devin Booker and I laughed at you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure... I'll go back and
maybe we screamed about something
I'm pretty sure we screamed at each other on the over-under pod about the Suns because I think they're garbage. Bradley Beal might play today. He hasn't played yet for the Suns. So we don't even know what they look like when that messes together.
I think... Oh, you know what? I do remember this because the Suns got deeper because when we were talking about the over-under, they made a lot of moves.
They just made the move for the part of the Damian Lillard trade.
Yeah. So... Am I ready to fold on the Suns? No, because they're going to be a playoff team. Am I ready to fold on the championship hopes? Yes.
Second round?
Second round exit. Second round, 7-game series.
I don't think they make it to the second round.
I think they make it to a second round in a 7-game series and then lose to a team that deserves to win. I think that's how it goes. And I think Kevin Durant fucking really needs to figure it out.
Right. And my second thing here is how do we feel about the second massive collection of losers in Los Angeles? The Clippers.
That's all I've been saying about them. They're the biggest collection of losers in the NBA. That isn't the fucking...
Kawhi's a winner, but everyone else...
Kawhi's the only winner. I mean, Westbrook's got that mentality, but, in reality...
I love Russell Westbrook. I think the best thing that happened to him in his career, for them other than getting drafted to the Thunder and playing with Kevin Durant his entire prime, the best thing that happened to him in the later part of his career was getting bought out by the Lakers, and going to the Clippers, where the first team since the Thunder just allowed Russ to go be Russ, and he was eating again. He was playing effectively in the playoffs. He was trying on defense again.
As a 30-year-old electric athletic point guard, too.
And now, here comes Harden. And what happened the last time these two played together?
It was a shit show in Houston.
They were both so fucking frustrated with the outcome and the play style and what went on that not one of them left. They both axed out. Both of them axed out at the end of the year.
You know what's wild? Here's how I think about it now. When Harden was running it in Houston, I thought it was crazy. I thought Russ was just tagging along to have the fun. Now it feels like Harden's just tagging along. You know? I think that's the funny part of it.
I just feel like Harden's
playing
on another team next year if he doesn't retire.
By the way, 50, 40, 90 season right now for Paul George, playing at an all-NBA pace right now. Gotta love that for him. Yeah, a guy, dog.
I love Paul George when he plays. My issue is that these guys never play.
Well, I think that's starting to change this year with this whole in-season tournament thing, this whole incentive for the bonus. It's different because I feel like it motivates. So I looked at it. It's $500,000 for each player on the roster, and I believe that includes two-way contracts. So at the end of November, when the in-season, the NBA Cup is played, whoever wins, their roster gets an entire, basically, some guys who are on minimum contracts are getting a fucking quarter of their contract.
Yeah, it's a big deal for guys who aren't making a lot.
That's when that's how I feel. I feel like the NBA is changing for the better in that regard, that we're seeing a lot more fight out of guys who are fighting for bench minutes. And I think that improves more room for growth. That's one take I did want to give on the NBA Cup that I did just remember now.
As far as the in-season tournament goes, courts are sick. Jerseys,
some of them are fucking
jerseys
gross.
are for the most part sick. I think it's too early in the year. We're talking 10 games into the season, if that. We're starting this in-season tournament. I'd like to see it happen, around New Year's, about 6 weeks before the All-Star break. I think that might be better.
Well,
but the biggest detriment to the in-season tournament is that we have all these interviews going on, and all Doris Burke and all of the other people who do the courtside interviews asking players how they feel about it. And all these players are like, I don't even fucking know what's going on. I don't even get it. I forget who said it. Said, I was looking at the schedule. I saw a trophy next to the game on the schedule. I said, isn't that in July? What's this trophy on the schedule? The players don't even know what's going on. That's bad. That's a bad
players
look
don't
for
know
it.
what's going on
When
until
all of the players basically are like, whatever, we're just here to play ball. The players are essentially, from what I've seen so far, not treating it any differently than regular season games in early November.
Well, that's how we're looking at it now, because it doesn't matter to those players, the guys who don't know what the fuck is going on, because they make $20 million a year. What's $500,000? That's 5 game checks. You know. For other guys, I think it's very different. You're seeing more fight off of the bench, which means that threatening starters, guys who are going to sit, who might get overtaken, guys like PJ Tucker who are on very minimum deals, an extra $500,000. Fuck it, dude. I'm gonna ball out for as much as I can. But some of those guys are getting paid now on better contracts because of the way the salary cap grows. So I'm not. I think we're gonna see what's gonna happen is a big bit on one of these morning shows like First Take or Sports Center or give me another one here.
Fucking Undisputed.
Undisputed.
The show Nick writes on. I
Yeah.
don't remember what it's called.
We're going to see a big segment on the in-season tournament halfway through, and then it's going to get broken down, and then it's going to be explained, and then the clips are going to be everywhere, and then everyone's going to be like, all right, now we understand. So I feel like the in-season tournament, we're not appreciating it for what it is now, so we'll see what happens when it ends. Other than that, go Knicks. And my point about the Spurs.
Yeah, let's hear your Spurs thing.
6'8" Jeremy Sohan is playing fucking point guard.
You've been talking a lot about this kid.
Dude, this guy's wild. He played power forward last year. He was playing power. It was, who was the starting center? Jakob Poeltl. No, I think he might have been. No, he got traded to San Antonio. It was Jakob Poeltl, Sohan, Vassell was playing small forward, and then the two guards were Devontae Graham or Deontay Graham?
One of the Graham brothers.
One of the Graham brothers. And then another miscellaneous guard. Now they're running out Sohan at the point, Vassell at the 2, Branham, or depending on who's in the rotation and who's okay, who's not hurt. Sometimes Doug McDermott starts. Shout out Dougie Buckets, dude.
Doug McDermott's shooting about 60% from 3 so far.
It's wild. And then Wemby at the 4, and then Zach Collins at the 5. They're running Pop's running a wild ship over there, and I'm kind of for it.
They're a fun team to watch.
That's what I'm saying. They're my favorite.
It's going to translate to the win column this year.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to translate this year because the team is still in a little bit of shambles, but they're figuring it out. And I feel like we'll be looking at this team Sohan's one of these pieces. He's going to be the Ginobili of this team. He's going to be there for a while. Pop likes him. Playing power, he can play 1 through 4, 1 through 5 small ball. It's interesting to me. He's a guy, you don't see it until you watch him play. He's running the point, he passes, he scores inside, and he rebounds. Solid little guy right there.
Does he play defense?
He does play defense.
That's what matters.
Well, the Spurs always play defense. Vassell is this 2-steal-a-game guy.
The Spurs do always play defense. Yeah, Spurs are a fun team, man. They're interested to watch. I'm excited to get more basketball in. Especially, we got about another month of college ball. So once college football really comes to a close until playoff time,
you should get into some college basketball because the betting right now,
college basketball is not for me, dude. I'll bet on the tournament.
Okay.
I don't care until March.
I don't give a fuck about March Madness, but you know what? I'll look at it.
No, March Madness is fun.
I'll look at it this year because it's different.
March Madness is fun as hell. I don't do brackets anymore, but I do like betting on games because the brackets, everyone gets. If you pick like 112 to beat a 5, or like a fucking 14 to beat a 7 or something
like
like
USNBC.
that, you get a UMBC. You get a couple of those in your bracket, and you get excited. But then one loss fucks your whole bracket anyway. If you just really believe, just fucking take a half a unit and put it on every 12 in the first
Also,
round.
the draft class this year looks like pretty good.
Well, I don't want to talk about the draft just quite yet. The season just started.
I mean, no, but like the kids that are coming out this
Here's
year
the thing:
look pretty good.
a lot of people are down on this draft class. People that do this professionally, that like analyze draft classes 24/7, they're really down on this year's draft class. They're saying there's not, other than Bronny James, there's not too much excitement. But
Isaiah Collier, USC, keep an eye out.
Who?
Isaiah Collier.
Yeah,
and why am I'm so sorry, I'm faulting on your name. Boogie Williams, I'm pretty sure this guy goes by. Maybe not Williams, W last name though. Another guy. Their backcourt's pretty solid, so I'll be looking at some USC this year.
For sure. I'm excited to. Is Bronny James going to play at all this year?
I don't think so.
Well, his health is most important, so let's just.
They're giving it a little. They're playing it by the year type.
The
of
kid's
deal.
18. Fucking.
Just had a
health and his
hard
heart health is most
episode,
important.
God bless.
Go Knicks, go Jets, go Giants, go gambling. Let's get out of here. Watch some New York Knicks basketball against the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh yeah, brother.
We're brought to you by House of Havoc Podcasting, Stay Thirsty Company, Justin's Chop Shop at West Hampton Beach, and Dino Skate Park. Peace out.
Stay cupped.